Hi, this is Yeho. I'm macro option trader. Today is August 21, 2025, 9:30 a.m. Japan time. Let's do a quick market review and then talk about the upcoming Jackson Hole Symposium and what I think the main theme really means. Big market review first. The Nikkei closed yesterday at 42610, down about 0.65%. This morning it's around 42550, so not a big move. What I see is less of the index driven market and more stock picking, and some individual names are strong, and the capital is clearly rotating into the certain stocks rather than the whole index. The Japan Volatility Index is at 25.06, a little high. When it breaks into the 25 range, it feels like a hedging demand is rising. PL is now 17.65, pretty elevated. So naturally, some investors are buying options as a protection. Still, overall, Japanese equities remains strong. EPS is now 241 for yen, weaker because of the tariffs, but that's exactly the point. If you compare Japan and the US for EPS has not really developed, and Japan suffer from more because it trading dependent, while the US economy is less exposed. So if we only look at Japan, things look bad. But globally and especially in the US, earnings are holding up. That's why Japan still remains the main stage of the market right now. Okay, next US and other assets. And in the US, the S&P is at 6370 yen, 0 point. VIX is calm at 16.6, and gold trade at $3338. Bitcoin is weak and around $11200. So again, Japan is rating, the US is steady, and credit looks soft. And during this recording, the Nikkei actually bounced back to 42600 after dropping earlier this morning. So Japan is still does clearly for this. Okay, the next Jackson Hole Symposium. Now, let's shift to Jackson Hole. It started at August 21 through 23. The BOJ GABA will also join. This year's theme is rather markets in transition, which basically means one thing: AI. AI is reshaping rather markets in fundamental way. This theme might take on theme. Here's how I see it. As AI spreads, traditional jobs shrink, unemployment rise. Meanwhile, corporation cut their cost, boost margins, and earnings look strong. That's created strange mismatch, higher unemployment, but record corporate profits. And government cannot just leave that alone. So I think the logical response will be higher corporate tax as productivity gains accelerated. Use that extra tax revenue to expand unemployment insurance, basically a form of the basic income. And that support gives and displays workers time and resource to transition into new industries. And what will those new industry be? One clear candidate is the creator economy. With tools like ChatGPT anymore, anyone can build and polish a product, then distribute it globally through social platform. That's lower the barrier to entry for individuals and the small towns. So I think the green economy becomes a natural landing zone for rather that shift out of the old industries. We are also seeing experiments like self-driving a truck in Japan for when there's still a human in the seat. But that's another example of existing employment. Road created simply to manage the transition. Okay, policy a track on the monetary policy side with the Russian quite low of winding down and cost push inflation is easing, but tariff-related inflation risk is still alive. A central bank will be cautious. At the same time, after years of the dollar floating, they probably want to guide the system back toward a mild deflation adjustment. Okay, conclusion. So to summarize my view, AI-driven ladder shrinkage, higher corporate tax, redistribution into expand the social safety net, growth of the creative economy, monetary policy leading slightly toward the operation. That's the bigger picture I expect to emerge at Jackson Hole this year. That's it for today and contents. If you enjoyed this perspective, please follow and stay tuned for tomorrow's update. Thank you.